Ave, Virgilius. I, your patron, Messenius, come with a fair proposition for you. Augustus, our emperor, needs to, let's say, boost his ratings. Augustus plans to reorganize the state finances so that most state revenues and taxes are under his control. Also, of course, there's the matter of him taking control over almost all of the provinces, leaving the Senate with only very little power a few years ago. Was it 27 BC? Anyways, a few are still a little irritated about that. He's also taken military control, and apparently he's going to found something called the Praetorian Guard. It is supposed to be some elite imperial troop stationed in Rome, I think. So, I also have a list of 2 things. He wants you to include August believes that the old religion is falling to decay and wants to restore the old temples in the hopes to bring the people back and to worship the ancient gods. I'm sure you have heard of the orators. Go on about the last month. He is especially concerned with the worship of Juno. Make sure you include some form of commendation to Juno. He also wants to revive the old morality and the simple life of the past. So promise that.
I thank you, this shall be done. Ave Mecenas.
Ave, Virgil.
What shall I write? How shall I please Augustus? To be as great as Homer, Sophocles, and Euripides. Yes, that is it. I shall fashion an epic poem, such as Homer's Ulysses and Iliad. Or better yet, I shall write a continuum, a reworking of his poems. It shall be of Aeneas, yes, son of Anchises and the goddess Venus. That shall surely please Augustus, for his father Julius Caesar claimed to be a descendant of Venus. As yet, Aeneas is only vaguely connected to the founding of Rome, a character whose deeds are shattered pieces of glass. Aeneas shall become the first hero of Rome, the ancestor of Remus and Romulus. The epic poem shall be comprised of 12 books. The first book, 6 books, shall tell of Aeneas' journey from Troy to Italy, and the last 6 of his conquering of the Italian landscape, where he shall win a war against the Latins. The Trojan people shall then adopt the Latins' name. This shall be a nationalistic poem. Nothing new there. That will glorify the traditional Roman virtues, which will please Augustus. Aeneas will be an epic hero, a demigod, who represents the cultural values of the Roman nation. He will be the singular hope for the Trojan people, and by divine authority, he will be withheld the responsibility of the conservation of his people. Augustus will like that, as he believes that is exactly what he has done, restored order to Rome after the civil wars. I suppose he does not want me to mention his murdering of his brother Caesarion, or his proscriptions and mass executions. But now, what is an epic poem? I seem to have forgotten. Homer, creator of the Iliad and Ulysses. Have I seen a ghost, or am I suffering from lead poisoning?
I see you plan to use my words, my language, the Iliad and Ulysses, to fashion yourself an epic poem. This is plagiarism. Have you no moral?
Homer, I am only writing this because I have such respect for you, as all Romans do. Besides, it's not plagiarism. You have no copyright. You haven't even written it down yourself.
It's true I have no physical representation, but still, it's not fair.
Homer, see it instead as a tribute to you and all Greek. Listen, I will, in the Aeneid, have a Greek people, the Archaeans. They will colonize a small area in Italy. It will be here that Rome will be found. Yes, this will symbolize also the Roman adaptation of the Greek model in art, literature, and religion. But I'm not even certain that I will be able to write it, because I seem to have forgotten what constitutes an epic poem.
Well, I do not want this poem to be the laughingstock of the centuries and shed bad light on my work, so I shall tell you what an epic poem contains. It has a long narrative about serious and traditional subjects. The narrative focuses on the actions of an epic hero or a demigod who represents the cultural values of a whole race, nation, or a religious group. The success or failure of this hero determines the fate of an entire people or nation. and is frequently set in the remote past. The story contains supernatural deeds or military mastery. The gods take part in the action and affect the outcome, and the supernatural intervention implies two opposing plots. The poem begins with the invocation of a muse, a supernatural being, to inspire the poet. The speaker introduces the theme and asks the muse to provide him with a suitable emotion, creativity, or diction to finish the poem. The narrative begins in media res, in the middle of action, and events that lead up to the start of the poem will be recounted. The poem contains long lists of heroes and kings, and is concerned with highborn, and not commoners. The poem employs similes. A simile is a figure of speech that compares two things, using connected words such as like and as. You do know these words, do you not?
So perhaps like this. I sing of warfare, and a man at war, from the sea coast of Troy in early days. He came to Italy by destiny, to our Lavinian western shore. A fugitive, this captain, buffeted cruelly on the land as on the sea, by blows from the power of the air behind them, baleful Juno in her sleepless rage. And cruel losses were his lot in war, till he could found a city and bring home his gods to Latium, land of the Latin race, the Alban lords and the high walls of Rome. Tell me the causes now, O Muse, how galled in her divine pride, how sore at heart, from her old wound the queen of gods compelled him, a man apart, devoted to his mission, to undergo so many perilous days, and enter on so many trials. Can anger, black as this, prey on the minds of heaven? Tyrian settlers in that ancient time, how Carthage on the far shore of the sea, set against Italy in Tiber's mouth, a rich new town, warlike and trained for war, and Juno, we are told, cared more for Carthage than for any walled city of the earth, more than for Samos even.
Complete rubbish! You may call yourself a poet, but you have no feeling for precision or restraint. As the ages pass, you will surely be forgotten.
So like this, just as dreams when the night swoon of sleep weighs on our eyes, it seems we try in vain to keep on running, try with all our might, but in the midst of effort faint and fail. Our tongue is powerless, familiar strength will not hold up our body, not a sound or word will come. Just so with Turnus now, however bravely he made shift to fight, the mortal fiend blocked and frustrated him. Flurrying images passed through his mind. He gazed at the Rutilians, and beyond them, gazed at the city, hesitant and dread.
Completely hopeless. Anyway, don't forget to have your protagonist ascend to the underworld. The crowd loves that. Anyway, I'm out of here. Good luck with your poem.
In the sixth book, Aeneid shall descend to the underworld, and his father shall there show a pageant of the future of Rome. I must pay tribute to Augustus, for he shall surely have my head otherwise. I shall write, turn your two eyes this way and see this people, your own Romans. Here is Caesar and all the lines of Judas, all who shall one day pass under the dome of the great sky. This is the man, this one, of whom so often you have heard the promise. Caesar Augustus, son of the defied, who shall bring once again an age of gold. To Latium, to the land where Saturn reigned in early times. He will extend his power beyond the Garments and Indians, over far territories in north and south, of the zodiacal stars, the solar way, where Atlas, heaven-bearing on his shoulder, turns the night sphere, studded with burning stars. At that man's coming, even now the realms of Caspia and Meota tremble, warned by oracles in the seven mouths of Nile. Yada yada yada, but I shall be clever. There are two gates of sleep, one said to be of horn, whereby the true shades pass with ease, the other, all white of ivory agleam, without flaw, and yet false dreams are sent through this one, by the ghosts of the upper world. I will let Aeneas pass through the ivory gate, expressing that I believe that Augustus' divine mission to bring peace and glory to the Romans is a lie. Surely the emperor will not notice. Well, I better start, for this will most likely take me years to finish.